The current divorce rate in the United States is 42%. Now, that is a big problem, and divorce rates, unfortunately, have only been going up. Not to mention, of that 42%, how many are staying together for the children? Morally, how many more? Let's put on another 10 to 15%. That puts it around 57%, because that extra 15% are usually couples who are staying together, again, for their children or external factors. Maybe they are incredibly unhappy in their marriages, but again, they're just staying together for other factors. So that's obviously a very broken system right there. 57%, 53 to 57% as a divorce rate is way too high. So am I trying to deter hope from anybody's minds? No, of course not. In my opinion, marriage is the number one most beautiful thing that a human can experience. I actually advocate for marriages. I think marriages should be more common, and they would work far better without social media. If I took away social media today, I guarantee you divorce rates would drop dramatically from the average of 50%, probably down to around 20%, a 30% gap there, maybe 20%. Still, social media makes it way too easy for people to act in terms of infidelity, right? You have this device right in your palm. So you have Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. It's so easy for people to, again, not be faithful, because you can text that high school ex. You can text that college ex from 10 years ago. You can say, hey, how's it going? Just check up. And then that spreads like wildfire. Infidelity with the phones is a big reason why divorce rates are so dramatically high. So how do we prevent divorce rates from skyrocketing? And how do you prevent divorce in your own relationship, in your own marriage, in your own personal life? Believe it or not, there is only one key factor in preventing divorce. And it sounds kind of crazy, but I'm going to say it. The number one way to prevent divorce or even a breakup, this applies to that as well, is to pay attention to the little things in the relationship. So many people go through a divorce because 3 months ago, their partner stopped buying them flowers, but previous to that, for 5 consecutive straight years, every single month, the partner bought them flowers, and he stopped that small, consistent habit. The wife started nagging at her husband out of the blue every single day he got home from a 12-hour workday. 5 years, 10 years prior to that, that never occurred. So we need to look at the small underlying factors that lead to the bigger picture. When you stop putting in that small amount of consistent effort into your relationship, into the marriage, divorce, from the time you stop that small consistent effort habit, like buying those flowers, buying her chocolates once a week, when you stop that, it's actually a lot bigger deal than you really think. When you start nagging your partner every single day, when you start bringing up their flaws every single day, that spreads like wildfire. Just like the text message, the checkup message to an ex. It spreads like wildfire. So my best recommendation is to understand that love is a choice. Number one, if you're married, you have a duty to choose your partner every single day. Number two, throw away your ego. When you throw away your ego, you don't feel the need to stop doing the small, consistent effort type of things. Number three, continue your effort in the smallest of ways. Hold the door open for your wife. If you're the wife, when your husband comes home, make sure you are his peace, right? Make sure that's consistent. Even if you don't necessarily feel like it, it's your obligation to do that. Just like as the man, it might be his obligation to pay for that dinner date you guys have every Friday night. When you start losing consistency in those smaller forms of effort, that's when it all goes downhill. And not only that, that's when your partner starts to resent you. Because they notice the smallest little tweaks. The human brain is incredibly intelligent. When partners start to notice the smallest little changes of a decline in effort, right? Over time, that builds up. And then that's what causes infidelity. That's what causes the screaming fighting. That's what causes all of these awful disagreements that ends up your partner to not even love you anymore, to like you anymore. So in order to prevent divorce, obviously be faithful, don't be abusive. That's pretty apparent. But to prevent any of that from even becoming a possibility, stay consistent. Remember when you guys first started dating? What did the dynamic look like? It was all effort on deck. Continue those romantic date nights once a week, because that alone will be a differentiator. That will save your relationship.